stared and stared, as if one had lost the power of one's limbs. The monsters approached, slowly, hobbling, rolling and swaying. But they approached. Nothing impeded them. A supernatural force seemed to impel them on. Someone in the trench said, "The devil's coming." And the word was passed along the line like wildfire.
In the village of Flers, an infantry officer stood at the extreme point of the British advance. He walked forward into open country. The German trenches were empty. He was not even fired at.
I looked round the countryside through the binoculars and I saw a German howitzer being limbered up. I don't remember the number of horses, but I'd only one clip of cartridges left for my Lee Enfield and I didn't do anything about it. Self-preservation made me keep that clip. And I saw this gun trundling up towards Goudecourt until they disappeared in a sunken road. Whether I could have gone up to Goudecourt and signed the visitor's book in the church, I don't know, but I think not. Anyhow, I didn't try it.
One officer and one clip of cartridges. All that was left of one more bright hope. The decisive attack had failed. Yet this September fighting in the east, in the south, in the west, had not been without its results. Ludendorff wrote,
"If the war lasted, our defeat seemed inevitable. Hindenburg and I were fully at one in this anxious view of the situation. Accordingly, the construction had been begun as early as September of powerful rear positions in the west."
At the end of September, British battle casualties amounted to over 360,000 men and officers. This was the cost of enthusiasm without experience. October came. The fighting did not abate, but autumn brought a new enemy.
Mud. Mud which was unique. It was like walking through caramel. No one could struggle through that mud for even a few yards without rest. Terrible in its clinging consistency, it was the arbiter of destiny, the supreme enemy, paralyzing and mocking English and German alike. Distances were measured not in yards, but in mud.
The mud is terrible, said Haig. The whole battle was sinking slowly into the mud.
Come on, she's nearly there. Come on.
As long as men could move, they could attack, defend, counterattack, attack again.
Dear Wilhelm, I send you my greetings from my grave in the earth. We shall soon become mad in this awful artillery fire. Day and night it goes on without ceasing. Never has it been so bad as this before.
Then 5 minutes ago, and then 0 hour, and all hell lets loose. There's our barrage, the Germans' barrage, and over the top we go. As soon as you get over the top, fear has left you, and it's terror. You don't look, you see. You don't hear, you listen. Your nose is filled with fumes and death. You taste the top of your mouth. You're a weapon, and you are one. Hunting you back to the jungle. The veneer of civilization has dropped away. You see the line of men, the flare of the shells, there's the mist of dawn, November dawn, and the fumes from the shells, And every now there's a bursting shell which gives it a dirty orange colour. And you see this line, then a gap. They close in, they go on.
On November the 13th, Beaumont Hamel, attacked on July the 1st, steadfast ever since, fell to the Highlanders. It was the last of the British attacks of 1916, and this time the cost was low. Britain's new army was growing old and wise in battle.
We have had dreadful losses again. I shall not get leave until we have left the Somme. But with our losses what they are, this cannot be long, or there will not be a single man left in the regiment.
The Somme, in 1916 alone, cost the British Army 415,000 men. The French lost 195,000, and they were still attacking at Verdun. The British, too, had not finished. On November the 19th, as the mud closed in and winter imposed a little silence, Haig told his army commanders,
"The date at which the 4th, 5th and 3rd armies should aim in making offensive preparations is February the 1st.
Over 80 German divisions passed through the fire of the Somme. Carefully, the Germans concealed their loss. They were frank about its effect.
The Somme was the muddy grave of the German field army and of the faith in the infallibility of German leadership.
Hans is dead, Fritz is dead, Wilhelm is dead. There are many others. I am now quite alone in the company. God grant that we may soon be relieved. Our losses are dreadful. This is almost unendurable. If only peace would come.